So hello, I just wanted to show you Robbie. I have opened his mouth. I know this is not very good lighting. I'm trying to show you. His mouth is open. It's not the cleanest inside. Um, I'm working on it a little bit still. Let me see if I can get him. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, I got him set back up into the bowl. With his mouth, he has a very, very narrow mouth. So only kind of pacifiers that really work on him are preemie. So he's going to have to take preemie passies. So they have to be small nipples. I'm hoping this is focusing. Let me see if I can get I know I'm not going I'm going to pause it again. And I'll put the pacifier in his mouth. And I will show you with the pacifier in. So here is Robbie with his pacifier. I'm really thinking, like I said before, I was undecided if it was going to be a boy or a girl. I'm really thinking it's going to be a boy. So he's got the pacifier in now. And he will be able to take like small gumdrops too. He will be able to take bottles. I mean, I have it really deep, but his mouth being he has a very narrow mouth. And the wide nipples are just not. Okay, I thought it was a gumdrop, but it's actually a Soothie, and it fits pretty good in his mouth. Also, I found this Snook. It got pretty small nipple. That should fit in his mouth. I wish I put this on the tripod before I start videotape because I could show you that I can put these pacifiers in and out of its mouth. But I didn't, and my table here is a mess. I even had my Drindle out because I used the Drindle to try to smoothen inside the mouth. Because when you use this, I used the Drindle. I also used a pair of tweezers for pulling the pieces out, and I also had a X-Acto knife cutting. So between I used the X-Acto knife, I used a Drindle and tweezers to clean his mouth out. So I think he looks pretty good, and I'm happy now that he can take a pacifier and everything, because that was one of my main reasons I wanted a silicone. Because I know a lot of people will have the silicones because they can bathe them and everything, but I like the whole idea that you can be able to give him a pacifier. And the only thing about him, he didn't have an open mouth, so I had to open his mouth. And like you can see that I did take him apart, and I noticed the real reason that his paint didn't look the best is somebody tried to touch him up. I guess his original paint started to fade in some spots, and the person wanted to add more red blushing to him. Well, they did not use the right kind of paint to touch him. Okay, I'm going to pick up from where I think it stopped. Okay, I was talking about his paint. Like I said, somebody had tried to touch him up. I guess they thought he didn't have enough of blushing, or he was starting to fade. And when they touched him up, they did not use the proper silicone paint. And now that I took him apart and I'm starting to clean him up, his raw color is coming out. I'm going to go and give him a bath. But like I said, he's in parts. I have his arms and his legs. I have his leg. This is one of his legs. So I'm going to go ahead and give him a bath and then powder him down and put him back together. I did reweight his body. I'm hoping I'm going to put him back together, and I'll find out if his weighting is the way I like it, because he has a silicone and his head weighs more than a regular, like a reborn, and also his arms and his legs weigh a little bit more than a reborn does too. So I have to keep on adjusting it till I like the feel of it. But like I said, I filled his body up a little bit more. He only had plastic pellets inside of him and then stuffing. So I like both. I like poly pellets inside, the plastic poly pellets, and also the glass. I like both. I usually put the glass to give it that good weight but I like the feel of poly pellets around it, and it allows the baby to move a little bit better, because the glass, it just, to me, feels really stiff. So the poly pellets seem to like roll and move around better and makes it feel more natural to me. So I'm doing a combination like I do with my reborns. But when I get him all done, I'll get him together and put him back. Um, I'm probably going to wait for right now with painting. I know with me doing all the work with opening the mouth, it has rubbed off a lot of his paint on his lips. But it ain't no big deal. I mean, I think he's adorable just the way he is. Like I said, down the road I will get the paint and I will redo him. Um, well, do up the touch-ups and everything. Like I said, some of the paint, I think, like I said, some of the paint, I think it was because they gave him more of wanted a deeper color to him, and like they said, they did not use it. And a lot of it's like in the creases, and I think some of the paint on his hands, by him being an older doll, the paint had started to fade, and like some of his creases, like on his hands and everything. So I think that's what they did. They did a touch-up, and they did not use silicone paint. So I know down the road I'll have to get some paint and just touch him up. I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional silicone painter. I'm just going to have to touch him up the best I can. He's going to be a forever baby, just like basically all my dolls are. They're forever babies. Once a baby comes in my collection, they usually do not leave. So I just wanted to show you what I've done to Robbie so far, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye-bye. So I came back to show you that I got one of my Differax pacifiers out and put it in, and that fits in pretty good too, because it has a small nipple on it. See if he wants to let go. He actually wanted to keep it, but see, it's another small nipple. So he's going to be able to take small nipples and sew these, and I probably can get some of the gumdrops. Anything that has a small nipple, like a preemie size, he will be able to take, and he will also be able to take bottles, nipples, long as they're the small nipples and everything, nothing really big. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.